Cool. All right, we're back. Episode 11. It has been some time.
It's not been time at all. It's been like
it's been a while.
7 weeks. Has it been like? It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long fucking time. I'm sorry, anyone that's been like trying to listen into this weekly, because we said we'd do it weekly.
We tried.
We just didn't declare which week. we just went for whatever week happened. But we're back, and a different time zone as well, because it's my nighttime and your daytime.
Yeah,
really helpful because now I can actually see.
And now I look like a zombie because I just woke up. So it's kind of like, win-win. In my opinion, it's a win-win.
There's you just woke up and me trying not to sleep because it's half fucking midnight.
So got the coffee ready to go.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome to the podcast, the DownUnder podcast. I literally almost forgot what the name was called just then.
It's been a long time. It has been a long time. A lot has happened. Actually, a lot has happened though. In the space that we've been away, a lot has happened.
Yeah, quite a lot. It's actually been quite a while since me and you have actually spoke, to be honest, as well. It's just kind of like our own catch-up. We've just been here trying to sort out the fucking mics for the last, like, half an hour.
Yeah, it's been a while. There's a
lovely little screenshot as well.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Yeah.
Go on, then. I want to see what you've been up to, because, to be honest, here is... not much has really changed, as we're aware, but...
I live in Brisbane, Australia, so the weather's been pretty crazy. We've had a lot of flooding and stuff here in Australia, it happens every year. We get fires, floods. It is a common thing that we have here. And it's starting to dry now. It's starting to get colder, so I'm looking forward to that. Got the tracksuit pants on at the moment, chilling out. I got 10 days off.
What is it, like 25 degrees out there right now?
Yeah.
Pretty mild. Yeah, pretty mild that.
So,
get the hoodies on.
So I'm looking to... I got a couple of days off to relax now. I've been working hard, like massive days at work. So it's been good to be able to relax a bit now in the last couple of days. I got probably another 7 days off. So probably pump out some YouTube content because it's been a long time since I even looked at that or even attempted to see that. So it's good to be back at it again. Can
we have a competition between ourselves as to who can pump out some content at the moment with this fucking game? I've been staring at the fucking game and I've just been kind of like, you know what? I don't know what to do with this right now. I'm trying to suck the fucking content out of this game has been horrific. But whatever content you can think of, you let me know and I'll work myself in.
It's a hard thing to say too because they're bringing out a lot of content. They are bringing out a lot of content, but it's not usable content for creators, in my opinion.
No, it's not, is it? It's very... You know what I feel like has just happened recently is I feel like a big money grab has happened. I don't want to totally rip into the devs here, but I do want a little bit of a rip into the devs. Because we've seen content come out recently, and there's been a big spike up since the whole OTV stuff. Did we talk about that? Was that when we were with Flack?
No.
OTV?
I don't think we did.
Has that was since? Damn, bro, we've got this a while, have we?
We gotta do about
so this is my thing,
stuff.
Yeah. This is my thing, yeah. I want to like touch upon this super quick because I was gonna make a video on this, but I can touch upon it super quickly. I feel the devs never caught the new audience that well when the OTV people turned up. And it was very obvious because the OTV people didn't have a fucking clue what they were doing in the game. And it was somewhat embarrassing and somewhat quite nice to watch. But also it was very, very obvious that there's nothing to help new players out. And then the most embarrassing thing they ever released was that softcore server, which, holy fucking shit, I'd rather suck a fart out of your ass than play that server as a new player. Because I genuinely couldn't figure out what the fuck that server was meant to do, other than say, well, you keep half the stuff that you don't know what the fuck does.
It kind of reminded me of like Tarkov, when you have like the little like what is it, container? The alpha container or whatever it was, and you can like save your shit in case you died, and that was kind of like that. It was like their safe version of like not losing everything. But
really, I never saw that. That was actually a thing. Where the fuck was that when I was playing Tarkov? I lost all my shit.
It was like,
oh no, that little box you get.
Yeah,
you can put your little fucking cheese slices in it and shit.
Yeah.
Was that actually a cheese slice, by the way? I've never. Was
no,
it a cheese slice?
No, it's meant to be like a case that opens up and it has like syringes and stuff. I'm pretty sure in it, but it's like a case. But it looks like a cheese slice because it's yellow. And that's how, I guess that's kind of how it was. But
you know what? Those games, this is my biggest gripe with any game at the moment, other than Mordhau because they get a pass, is where the fuck are these tutorials? Because I feel, because what was it? We were looking the other day because we're checking out our servers and we're kind of like, well, population's a bit low. What's kind of like the Steam count? And it was like 84,000 people playing. Bearing in mind, before OTV, it was about 54,000 people playing peak. Then it went to like 222,000, and now it's back to 84. I feel a lot of those people who played got bored of the game because they didn't realize what was happening. And my biggest concern is that devs are basically saying, hey, go and watch YouTube tutorials on how to play this game, or go and play dead servers. So let's just make a load of dead servers so you guys can try and figure out what the fuck you're doing by meeting no one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would give anything for the developers to put on the fucking escape menu a how to play section of the very basics of the game. Because so many people played that, and they literally, like, I made a video on it, and it popped off really well. Thank you, devs, because that made me some nice income. But it was so fucking obvious that I was teaching 5 people how to play a game.
Yeah.
You know? Because they were like, we don't know what to do.
I feel like
a tool cupboard was.
I feel like it wouldn't be hard, because I feel like you could make a server that would be so small, like a tiny, like the size of, like, a server the size of, like, Dome area. Do you know what I mean? Like something like that. And all it is like a grass, yeah, pretty much like a grid. A grassy area with a couple of rocks or whatever, and it teaches you can't place inside a rock. It teaches you can place next to it. And it literally just teaches you how to practically build like a hut with a fireplace, teaches you how to store your stuff, what a TC does, and then obviously shows that you can't build into other people's TCs areas. And I feel like that would take fucking no time at all.
Absolutely.
To make and bring into the game. And it will just help anyone who just wants to learn the game before jumping in there and having to farm and then learn it once you've farmed, because by then it's too late. Once you've farmed and then trying to build a base or trying to learn, people just come and kill you, right? Even on those alien servers, that's why people are going to these dead servers, to try and just not get killed while they're trying to learn. But I think they should be able to join these little like the tutorial ones and do it on their own. And then have their mate, even who knows, talk them through it while they're on that thing and go, hey, yeah, look, this is how you do it. If they have any questions, talk to me, you know, kind of thing. But that's how I see it anyway.
You know what I think they've done wrong is, instead of keeping the game hard and teaching new players, they've made the game easier to try and help new players. You know, they're like, oh, we've got safe zones. Like, holy fuck, we're in Safe Zone City. You know, so many safe zones. It's almost like saying, hey, like, oh, you want a boat? Yeah, you can go and get one and you'll be safe getting it. I'm thinking, like, you know what, keep the game hard and let people learn it. You know, like that's how we did it back in the day, back in 2015, 2016. I used to get bummed, and it was fine because I learned, you know, people taught me. But I just think, like, a simple tutorial, pay Shadowfrax money to do it, you know, a voiceover on it. Literally, hey, you spawned on a beach. Oh, we need to get your first base down. This is this, this is this. If you want people to not build in your area, do this. It's such simple basics that haven't changed since the very beginning that they need to implement into the game and make a tutorial. It would be amazing. Yeah. It'd be the best thing.
I wonder if
I would suck a death off for that. I won't. But if that came into the game, holy shit, like, it would be amazing for it. And I don't know why they don't do it, because Mordhau is a very good, very, very good, obvious example of this. Yeah. Mordhau's tutorial fucking slapped because I hated the game, played the tutorial. Holy shit, I was loving it. You know, I got a few more hours out of it.
People made content just on the tutorial. Like, I remember people seeing, like, funny moments in the tutorial section where they're just, like, slashing up the instructor there and, like, stabbing him and shit because you could hit him. I'm looking at, like, Rust on Steam at the moment. Have they changed their trailer yet? Have they?
I don't know. I don't know if they've changed the trailer. Would they have changed that? Holy fuck. There's things they need to do, and changing a trailer is not one of them. I really wish the devs would look into this so badly, because I'm seeing so many people not playing the game. And people even say to me they don't play the game because they don't know how to play it. They have to play with friends. And I'm kind of like, that's not a game, you know? You don't want a game where you have to fucking try and learn it through videos and tutorials. This game's been out for, like, what, 6 years now? A tutorial would just slap. And you know what? If they didn't want to make it because they have ideas of changing the basics in the future, just make a text tutorial. Make a little book you can open in game. Oh, hey, you want to learn how to play the game? Here's a little tutorial book. It'll cost you fuck all.
The Forest had it. The Forest had it. I thought it was great.
I think they've lost a lot of players, and they'll continuously lose players because they're not looking at the basic that people People need to know how to play games. Whenever you bought a game for your Xbox or whatever back in the day, you would look inside and take the little booklet out and read it because you wanted to learn how to play it. You know, like that was it. That's what we used to do. But the devs, I feel it's lazy, and it's almost to the point you've gone that lazy with it and not making tutorials anymore, game developers. You're losing players, and then you're kind of like, why aren't we getting players? But, you know, it is what it is. I think there's so many bad decisions they've done recently. It's almost embarrassing. That's why I fucking keep them blocked on Twitter, because I can't be asked for the fucking mental stress of looking at this shit and trying to defend it when I can't defend it.
Yeah.
Even to the point with skin drops and that, but...
It's super weird because I'm looking at the Rust Steam profile now, right? So where you go to buy it.
Yeah.
One, their video is probably, I'm going to say, close to...
Where is this to? The store page?
Yeah. I'm going to say the video trailer is probably still close to 6 years old, I reckon.
Oh my God, look at that.
It doesn't bring in anything new into the game, anything new what's been added to the game. So they've gone through all this process of adding stuff to the game, but when people look at the trailer, none of that shit's added into the trailer. I would have thought that when you pumped out your biggest content update, which was a couple months ago, when you brought in like the railway and all that, you'd think you would put that in, just like any YouTuber, right? When you make a new video, most of the time they put it up as their front one because people want to see new content when they come to it. You're looking at a trailer here, fucking outdated of like 5 years, but you've updated the banner to Dying Light, which we can go into as well. They've now brought out a Dying Light extension of Rust.
Which I have no fucking clue where that came from.
That came out of left field big time. That happened like in the last couple of hours. That Dying Light brought out like a mini expansion for Rust. The Rust devs have apparently made it for them because it says in there that created by Facepunch Studios. So they actually created inside the game their own little expansion that people could play. But I'm like, you're spending time on that, but you won't make a tutorial. It just blows my fucking mind that, you know...
It does blow.
You can't spend time to update your own trailer. I don't get that part.
It's basics, isn't it? It's basics. And they would... And, like, not being funny to them, but that's how they market. That's how they should market their shit. Keep it up to date. Showcase the new things that are coming in. I'm literally watching a tutorial now, and it's so fucking dated. I think the people are screaming on the floor. I can't remember that. You know?
Yeah.
I think there's so many things, and this is my biggest concern at the moment. Okay, so obviously skin drops have come in. I don't care who got skin drops.
Yeah.
You know, if you got a skin drop, whatever, cool. Hope you did well from it.
Yeah.
You know, but that was a money grab. That's all a money grab. The Twitch streamers made a fuck ton, which I'm hoping they did.
Yep.
You know, run adverts all the fucking time.
So they should, yeah.
The game would have made money, but they did it. I feel they've done it wrong because you've only got so many content creators, you know, and you know if you're putting your big content creators like, hey, here's a skin coming out. I feel they need to do those drops when big releases come out. They were just doing it on releases. You know, like, hey, we got another skin drop. Hey, we got another skin drop. Hey, another skin drop. And all I was just seeing was them just trying to line their money with as much as they could. They got OTV server. Oh, let's get as much money as we can out of it. That's one of the reasons I didn't get involved in the skin drops. I thought it was dirty from the devs to be doing skin drops and just not running it right. Like, why would they not try and make it so skin drops are coming out with people who are new to the game and good content, you know, like new content coming in, like, hey, the trains are here. Let's do a skin drop so everyone can see the new trains. You know, I think they were just doing skin drops all the time, and they did it so many times that people couldn't be asked in the end to watch. I feel like I did the first skin drop, and then after that, I just kind of could go fuck, you know, because it was just all the time, and it's just like, we don't need this. We need to capture the new audience. They've got console coming out, which is going to bring a fuck ton of new people. Yeah. And I swear, if they don't put a tutorial in there, they're failing again. They're failing their audience. They're failing their new players. And to me, it's a very serious thing because you're kind of like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know, I kind of go from, I'm going to roast you guys on what you're doing to kind of being like, no, seriously, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Because you have brand new players who can put thousands of hours into this game, buy you new skins every single week, which they're pumping out, by the way, en masse. Like, holy shit, the amount of skins in this game right now. They're going to struggle. I feel like they're just coming out all the time. But people want to know how to play the game, and they're not going to do that if they're just chucking out fucking wank content and just restrictions everywhere.
Yeah, I think we need to look at like how. I mean, we could slander and well, not slander, but pick apart the devs as much as possible. But I think as a community as a whole, I think what Rust truly needs is a facelift in a way. You know, change your fucking trailer.
It needs a big dynamic.
You change your just the way that Rust is perceived. You know what I mean? Like Rust is perceived as this PvP Chad game, but your trailer shows fuck all really. In the scheme of it all,
it's so basics.
It's super basic. Update that. You know, they updated a couple months ago. Now, probably 6-7 months ago, they updated the actual page on Rust because it was so outdated as well, which I think was great. But I still think there needs to be something that Rust needs is a tutorial video and a new trailer. My two biggest things I think Rust could do as a facelift. Get those done, and you could just see like anyone browsing through like Steam would see that, look at Rust trailer, and it's so outdated. And I'm like, I don't like those graphics. Those graphics are fucking 6 years ago. They're not even like that anymore. They're way better now. Plus, we've got on the staging branch now the new updated look on the whole environment on that. What is it?
HDRP.
HDRP, yeah. So, you know, Rust, that HDRP, in all honesty, should be in the trailer. That's the graphics.
They need to capitalize on it.
That is what you should be.
Showcase.
You know?
They need to showcase all these things they're doing. And, you know, I feel like Rust needs a big dynamic change. I'm almost thinking, I feel like there's so many restrictions in this game right now. It's almost hard to even play. Get rid of the non-building on roads, on side roads. Get rid of fucking monuments that restrict. Get rid of ranch. Get rid of fishing place. Fuck them off because they are genuinely just AIDS. You know, in the nicest way possible, they do fuck all for the game because no one's buying horses. Because why would you go and buy a horse when you could just go and shoot someone off their own? Where's the viable? Why are they turning scrap into a currency? Why are they trying to make this survival game almost like a fucking Oblivion Skyrim kind of game?
What they could have done
is weird.
Is change harbour, right? Instead of bringing out a new boat place, change harbour.
Yeah.
The whole point of harbour was it was fucking you could dock there.
There's boats.
There's boats. So why not
you know what they should have done?
Make an extension of harbour, like off to the side. It was like a rundown, like fucking, like it looks like a little boat ramp on harbour, and have like an NPC there that will just give you a little tinny, you know, a little boat.
Get rid of the NPC. Why? Turn it into a monument. Because I think NPCs are stupid. I think the NPCs are stupid. To have a bloke standing there in Fishing Village listening to some reggae is such an insult to a game that's purely based on survival against other players. Get rid of the bloke, but keep a workshop there. You go, you go there. You want to make a boat? It'll cost you 1,000 wood. You make the boat. You push the boat out. You take it. Get rid of the safe zone shit. The game doesn't need all these safe zones. It's almost like you against the world because you're fucking running and you get mowed down by a safe zone.
Yeah.
You know? And there's no need for it. I think what they need to do is they need to readdress things like, horses should be wild and you can tame a horse. Oh, look, you can make a saddle, go and tame a horse. If you really want to, you know, make it an opportunity. But get rid of the safe zones, get rid of the restrictions, get rid of bandit camp, merge it into outpost, or get rid of outpost and merge it into bandit. One of them needs to go, I feel. They're just huge eyesores now because they've taken the game away from being survival to I can just sit here and AFK if need be.
I think horses should be that if you tamed a horse, it would give you it would be slightly faster, or it would be, you know, stamina would be better because you've tamed it and looked after it. Like I think those things coming into the game would be cool. I think looking at it getting on any horse, looking at the stats, I don't like it. Yeah, fucking whatever, the stats are shit. But I think if you were to actually bring it in, like if you got on a horse, it would be like the lowest set, like it would be shit because it's just a new horse. But if you tamed it and then made it better, then it would be almost like it's personal use for you. Do you know what I mean? It's almost
but
like
no one really uses that though. I feel like if you were to have that, like if you get a horse, you never really keep a horse for longer than 20 minutes till it's either dead or run away. You know, someone's nicked it. Yeah. What they could do is they say, yeah, you can tame the horse, and then the horse will just be like, the horse is just a standard level. Like, yeah, it runs at this speed no matter what. But because you tamed it, it's then used to you. If someone wants to try and get on this horse, they can try and tame it, but it could run away from them. You know, it's not tamed to a new person, it's tamed to a unique player. You know, I feel like that could be a dynamic, but I feel that Rust right now is so restrictive, it's almost forcing everyone into the same style of gameplay. Build your base, get resources, and hoard, you know, and then recycle. Like, why don't they... I think they should need to get rid of Outpost. Get rid of Outpost. Keep Bandit. Sure, that's fine. But Outpost nowadays, I feel, is dated. I feel it doesn't add anything to the game. And having shops in there, get rid of the shops, you know, or go and put them in Bandit.
Could they revamp Outpost, you reckon?
I don't know. I feel like merge it either into Bandit, but get rid of one of them. I feel like you can keep Bandit because Bandit kind of goes into the feel of it. I feel Outpost has no place in the game anymore. It's almost just a massive safe zone for you to just go in there and just do whatever. And it doesn't really offer much, you know. It's just a place where you can shop and recycle. I feel recyclers need to be dangerous places. Have recyclers in dangerous places. Get them out of Bandit. Get them out of Outpost. Yeah. Make it a survival game again, you know. But have the recyclers around. Have more recyclers if you wanted to. But the restrictions have to go. I can't build on roads. I can't build on side roads. I can't build near monuments. I'll get fucking mowed down by fishing village. Yeah. You know, I'm just like, I'm looking at the game and I'm kind of saying, like, I can't make content here. And I can't enjoy the game because my old style used to be, hey, I'll build a house and I'll put Snapchats on the outside and people will run into it and I'll go and take their loot. I love that little style of play. But you can't do that now. The game is very much, hey, if you want to play, you got to get to guns and then mow people down and try and stay above everyone. I feel the game is losing itself and losing its raw survival by making it too restrictive. You know, just change the big dynamic. Make it so you can build on roads again, so you can build everywhere. And I reckon you'd see a lot more people enjoy it. But at the moment, people just can't build anywhere. You know, mountains are too fucking steep. People have their go-to base builds. And people want to try and play a survival game. There's so many, they've added so much, it's kind of killing the game in a way, because I'm kind of like, what the fuck did we take out? What did we put in? Like, excavator?
It now forces you to build next to bigger clans. Like, it used to be a fact where people would build off roads or on roads, and you would see multiple small houses along the road. Now, it's forcing you to build in confined spaces that you're building next to bigger and, like, clans now, and the clans will just raid you, roof camp you, whatever they want to do. Because you've only got these small pockets to build in now. It wasn't like you could build anywhere and everywhere, and they could be slightly more spread out. They're now confining these smaller areas all around the map that you're now running into your neighbors a lot more. I mean, I'm not a PvP Chad. I'm not sure if being a PvP Chad, it allows more active PvP, like it possibly could. Being so confined now, whenever you walk out your door, you're probably within 100 meters of fucking your neighbor. But I personally just like the fact you could build on roads. I like the fact that you could have built on a road or at least the side roads. Like the fact you can't even build on a side road is just shit.
The side roads roads do my head in because they're so good. They'd be so good for like little PvP things. But they get, you know, it's a struggle to try and play a survival game that's meant to be like so super raw, but there's rules. You know, there's rules everywhere, basically. You can't build in these places, you can't build in this spot, you can't do this, you can't do that. And you're just kind of like, what can I do? Oh, I can PvP. You know, and I don't mind if you want to PvP, I think that's totally fine. But for a sandbox game, it's very much not a sandbox game anymore.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's got the same base builds, everyone's got the same dynamic style, everyone goes to Outpost to get rid of thing. I feel they've got to kind of go, you know what? Fuck it. We've added too much. Excavator, I feel, was a very big obviousness for that, because why is it so fucking big? You had quarries. Quarries did what Excavator did, and they worked. So why would they get rid of them? They spent time getting quarries, which we used to love because, like, oh, they made quarries. You try and jump in there, you try and nick the stuff. Excavator, there's so much that's happened in this game. It blows my mind because I'm just looking at it just like, where the fuck are you going to go now? You're digging a massive hole.
I feel like they're doing too much above ground. Like they're building new things, ranch, fishing village, excavator. These bigger things above ground. Obviously, when you're flying around, it's more of a visual thing. When you're flying around, you see all these cool little monuments and stuff. But you're right about Outpost. I think Outpost is outdated. It's been that way for a long time.
It's massive as well. If you look at it,
I think you could easily add some of those vending machines to Bandit Camp, make it more look like the bandits are doing a black market sale. You know, it's under the radar kind of stuff, selling turrets, all that kind of stuff, because they are bandits for one. So they can be stealing this kind of shit. So it would come into, if you are listening to the Rust law or whatever the fuck it is, you could possibly say that they are stealing this shit from, you know, cargo and whatever. So it would have purpose to be at Bandit Camp. The fact that they're bringing in more stuff into Bandit Camp, like gambling and the poker stuff, I think is great. It brings more interaction with players in a safer zone. And that would mean everyone would just come to one place. It's one safe zone in the entire map that you go to, Bandit. You can gamble, have some fun while you're there, buy some shit, and leave. Like, I think that would be good. I don't think having multiple safe zones and having people spread out all across the map, whatever, I think having one safe zone would be good. You'd be able to fly in, do whatever you need to do.
It's too damaging. It's too damaging.
I just think they need to do more with what's already there. Like Harbour, upgrade the loot at Harbour. Harbour's doing fuck all right now. Add the boats to Harbour. Add a spawn point for Harbour. Add a spawn point that every 30 minutes a boat spawns up against this section of the harbour, like a little tinny. So you know every 30 minutes you could go there and then most likely be a boat that you could take. Like, that would be cool.
Literally that.
You know, it does. You don't even have to make it. It could just be that there's a spawn point for a boat there permanently. Every time you go to a harbour, there's a spawn point for a boat. So you know, fuck, I need a boat. Where's the closest harbour? And you'd go there and wait for it to spawn, or you could take it. Like, that would be cool. Rather than going, fuck, I'm on the wrong side of the fucking map. Boat spawn on that side of the map. Fucking hell. Like, that's just shit. I think having, like, four harbours you could go to, upgrade the loot there, and it would bring more people to harbour. And to want to go there for a certain purpose. There's, you know, there's oil refinery there, there's a recycler there, there's loot there, that you can get a boat there, you can go straight from harbour out to oil rig. You can do whatever you wanted to do. But I think having Outpost now, it's just got vending machines.
It's just a big shop. And it's too much. Yeah. It's too much, especially with everything else there. Like you say, add to what you've got already. You've got harbour, you've got a great monument there. Everyone knows it's shit, but you can add things to it. The biggest problem I find is if the devs, we're really racing into them at the moment, but the devs, I feel if they make something and it doesn't work, they either scrap it or change it. So let's have a look at vehicles. In all honesty, I would say vehicles was a failure.
Scrap.
They are the wrong vehicles. Why are they not ATVs? Why are they like fucking... Why are they what they are?
Get motorcycles in the game, bro. That would be fucking so good.
Where's the post-apocalyptic shit? They look crap in terms of like what they are, which is fine. I mean that in a good way, as in it looks post-apocalyptic. But where's the very post-apocalyptic? You know, why the fuck can't I see out the window? You know, why can't I use these fucking vehicles like a normal vehicle? Why do they require all these components? Just hammer smack them, repair them, drive them. Perfect. You know, but they've made it so they've taken the vehicles, which is I feel a failure. Junkyard, which is ultimately fucking shit, and then change them both to work together like a shit fusion. You know, it's like they couldn't make vehicles work, they couldn't make Junkyard work. So hey, take the vehicles to Junkyard to get scrap because neither of these things fucking work. So we're gonna force them to fucking work
together.
That's the thought process. And I rate it because it's kind of like, well, you're doing something, but at the same time, stop adding stuff. Renovate stuff. Bring the quarries back. Make the in-game quarries at the moment worth. No one cares for them. Everyone should be trying to get sulfur quarry. No one gives a fuck if you're putting in 100 logo to get 300 sulfur out. That's a node. Nobody cares. Yeah. You know, you got to try and change the dynamics of the game to make players want to do new things. I don't know why they don't try that. They go, you know what, this month we're going to make it so quarries are really buffed. Or we're going to try this month where trees give more wood or less wood, or maybe this happens. You know, why don't they think we've gone too deep into our own development that we have no fucking clue where we're going? So we need to change up dynamics and see what works, you know? Make it so that blueprints and that maybe aren't there. Like, oh, this month we're getting rid of code lock blueprints, so you have to find a code lock blueprint again, like back in the day. I think they need to do this. They need to change something up. Also, we spoke about this on the stream the other day, but they do need to add it as well, that if you don't know a blueprint, fucking show it in the list. When you click weapons, show all the things you haven't unlocked. I don't know why that's not in the game.
Yeah.
Because as a new player, I'm like, oh, I can only get an Eoka. I don't know what the hell that is, or a bow. Where's all the other guns? And then you have to figure out you have to unlock them. Like, they should be there, so you can click them. It says, oh yeah, you can unlock this with a level 1 workbench. Like, that's a tutorial in itself, but holy fuck.
And it should tell you how to make it. So if you hover over it, or you click on it, it should say, these are the components to make it. I mean, it does, but only if you know the research of it. So if you don't, and it should still show that you haven't researched it yet, or you need to research it, and it requires this, but at least you can visually see all the weapons in the game that you can actually manufacture and make, because LRs you can't do that. L96s you can't do that. So when you see them not in the list, you already know that you can't make them. Because I know a lot of people are like, how do you make LRs? You can't make LRs.
Yeah.
How do you make you can't make L96s? But you don't know that, because people, I remember when on the OTV server, they were trying to research L96s and like, you can't do that. You can't, it doesn't work like that. You can't do it. But they don't know that because there's no real visual way to show that these things are not meant to be researched,
I think ultimately what it comes down to is make a fucking tutorial. Just make a fucking tutorial. Spend a month on it. Spend 2 months on it. It will be the best thing ever. We have such a good community of people who will help people, but ultimately, it's the devs who need to get these new players involved and interested. And they're not going to if they don't know what the fuck to do. They're like, oh, this game's shit. I don't know what to do. I'm dying all the time, and I don't know how to get a gun. I feel like players don't realise how hard this game is. And that's why they should send them to modded instead of softcore servers. Say, oh yeah, this is a 5-time server. So you can play this game 5 times the pace and learn it, and then go to vanilla. Don't go straight to vanilla as a new player. It's so backwards, so stupid. It's like playing Premier League football from the beginning. You're gonna get battered. You're gonna try and learn fast, but you're gonna get battered. Mental. Shall we bash them anymore, or shall we jump to another side?
I mean, we talk about it almost every podcast, man, because we love the game.
We care.
We care about the game.
Care.
And we think that, as much as I think a lot of people who's viewed us and watched us, they know that we think that sometimes that Russ could just like listen to us. But
yeah, just listen to people who've played it. Listen to people who play it and care for the game, because they develop it. I'm happy they develop it, but I'm scared for it because I can't make content on a game that can't produce content. I looked at everyone's like YouTube videos recently. Everyone's just playing solo survival, and that to me is not a sandbox game. That's not a sandbox game if you're just playing solo survival. But it's what it is. I'm not here to roast YouTubers. I don't care what they do. I do my own thing anyways. Which is nothing at the moment.
Speaking of YouTubers, we'll move on from that. Logan Paul fight that happened yesterday. Not yesterday.
Jake Paul fight.
Jake Paul fight. That's it.
Did you watch it? Did you see the knockout?
I did see it. I watched it live. Yeah.
Did you actually pay for it? The internet to try and get it off the fucking VPN.
Twitch is good for one thing and one thing only.
Twitch is very good for it, because we watched the KSI fight with that, didn't we? When we were on the Gold Coast that time.
We were on the beach watching the KSI and Logan Paul fight. I remember that. We were lying on the sand at the beach, just watching the KSI and Logan Paul fight
boom.
on Twitch, watching every account get banned every fucking 10 minutes, trying to find the next one. It's more of a laugh. I mean, it shouldn't happen, but it happens, and it's not like you can defeat it. Like, you can't. People are just gonna make like Twitch would never be able to get on top of it. So it was almost like a fun. It was almost like a fun game to find that one lad who hasn't been caught yet for like 10 minutes, and you can watch the fight, but.
Everyone piles in on him.
Yeah. Starts like giving him like the big thumbs up, like what a lad, You're gonna get banned in about 30 seconds, but you're still the fucking man. It's
GG fucking account.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I watched the knockout, and you know what I'd like to say? I feel Jake Paul, in total respect, he needs to have a proper fight. These people who are fighting, I could probably fight them, and I don't have much experience. I saw Ben fight, Ben Askren, whatever it's called.
Yeah, Askren.
He just didn't look like a fighter. He looks like he could fight, but he didn't look like a boxer. And I'm kind of like, where's an amateur boxer that will happily fight, Jake? Because he's good. He's built good. He looks good. He fights good. Like, where the fuck is he, like... Why is he not going against someone who's got, like, I don't know, say, for example, a European champion or, like, a champion of some kind of, like, title? He's fighting people who have fighting experience, but not in the same discipline as what he's looking for. And he genuinely needs a fight. I feel like just that dude had never really properly been in a boxing fight before.
No. It would have been a different conversation if it was a UFC match. It would be a hell of a lot different conversation we'd be having if it was a UFC match. There would be no fucking way, in my opinion, that Jake Paul would have ever win against Ben Askren in a wrestling match. Like, there's no way.
No.
And that's why Jake Paul did a boxing fight. Like, I mean, he originally put out a boxing fight opposition, like an invite to anyone who wants to fight him in boxing. And obviously Ben Askren stepped up as a UFC fighter. So he looks like, oh, he's a UFC fighter. And everyone thought it was a good match. And it went down. And honestly... Ben Askren,
it was a shambles.
Leading up to it, I was watching a lot of stuff and a lot of podcasts he was in and stuff like that. He didn't care. At the end of the day,
he just literally didn't care, did he?
He made, I think it was something like a couple of hundreds of thousands more than he made ever in the UFC in one night.
Yeah,
he made more money on the Jake Paul fight more than he made in the UFC in his entire career. So why wouldn't you like? Ben Askren just took it for the money, man. Like, in all honesty, and Jake Paul took it because he just wanted to beat up a UFC fighter. I
think Jake wants a proper fight. He doesn't even look like the type of guy that's like trying to put
he's
it on.
Already
like,
he's
that
already
too boring.
He's already put up for a proper fight. I think it's Tyson Fury is going to fight him.
Tyson Fury's son.
Yeah, brother.
That'll be good because he does need that fight. I feel like him going into boxing. Like you said, in UFC, he wouldn't stand a chance because in UFC, that I would say you would need hundreds upon almost thousands of hours in UFC and multiple fighting disciplines to be able to do UFC. It's just a no-brainer because there are so many things that happen in there that you'll need to know how to react and how to think. Whereas boxing is very much attack and defend. That's very much it. Whereas UFC is kind of like, right, I need to know how to submit people, how to get in positions. If I'm in this position, what to do. Whereas Jake is basically in the safest aggressive sport he can do, which I think is totally fine. I've got nothing against it. Why would you want to break yourself, to look better when you can just do a discipline that a lot of people would like to get involved with? I just felt it was really weak. I watched it and I was just kind of like, that was embarrassing, because it just felt shit. So it felt so empty. I want to see a proper fight. I want to see people going down. I want to see like 7-8 counts. I want... it to go a couple of rounds and people to be bruised and bloody and getting iced down in the corner. But you're just kind of watching it just like, he literally took a strong punch and that was it.
Did you watch the whole show? Like, the other fights as well?
The whole 2 minutes?
No, the whole show.
I literally just looked at it. I didn't even realise it was on. It was, I feel like it wasn't that much advertised. Either that or I don't really go on Twitter that much at the moment anyway. So possibly that. I just watched it and was like, he just literally took one slap and that was it.
It was the entire show was a shamble. Like, people say it's bringing a good name to boxing. It fucking isn't. Like, if you're looking at it as a kid wanting to box, like it is good exposure. But if you ever watched the fight before it, which were actual fighters, right? The fight before them were actual fighters. And what happened was one of them got hit in the ribs and acted like he got hit in the nuts and tried to disqualify the other guy, but in slow motion footage, he goes nowhere near his nuts, and the guy's pleading that he hit him in the nuts, and it was like a weird controversy incident that was like, what is this sport? What is this sport? Like, he got hit in the ribs, but the way it looked like he got hit in the nuts, and I'm like, everyone was like, that's just sad that this guy is just acting out to say he got hit in the nuts, which was, and then
it's really bullshit. Yeah,
and then leading into it, I take some funny moments out of it. In all honesty, I took it more of as a piss take for the entire sport, but I'm not sure if you would have seen any of the highlights, but the commentating side of it was a fucking shamble. Like,
was it a Snoop Dogg?
Snoop Dogg and the comedian. What's his name?
Yeah.
I can't even remember his name. Anyway,
I don't know.
He was there. The only thing great that I liked that they brought in there was the slapping contest. Which out of the, have you ever watched Moist Critical?
What?
Have you ever seen Moist Critical? Moist Critical videos.
Yeah, I've seen slapping contests. Yeah, with the Russians.
With the Russians, yeah. Well, so he did one on the Samoan guy that I can't remember his name, but he was on it. The Samoan guy was on there slapping some other dude, and I'm like, oh, this is cool that you brought in other YouTube content into.
Fucking just slapping people.
So they look like they're in
Why not? Why not?
It was super weird. They've lined up this table next to this fucking metal fence, right?
Yeah.
Put this table next to a metal fence to make it look, I don't know, more backstreet kind of
more
look.
masculine. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
A bit more, yeah.
Like a basement underground kind of style. And they've got a forklift.
Some dude doing meth in the background.
They've got a
shoot up heroin.
They've got a forklift on the other side of the fence, like a forklift. Out of fucking nowhere, there's a random forklift parked on the other side of this fence. You've got the table. You've got the comedian on the forklift, commentating this slapping fight. Then you've got, and then they kick off the slapping fight, right? And they literally just like, they literally walk up to you going, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? These guys are like, the Samoan is known for like one hit, like KOing everyone. And the first couple of hits, I'm like, are they trolling or are they dragging this out?
Warming up.
And I'm like, they're just like they're not even getting a full swing. They're just like tapping each other in the face. And I'm like, this is a piss take. Like, you watch him on YouTube in like tournaments, he just lines up like a fucking wrecking ball, bro, and just slaps the shit out of everyone.
Doors off.
Yeah, and then you just see him in this fight, like the first 4 slaps, he's just like, And I'm just like,
maybe it's a Mr. Beast challenge. You get 100 grand for every time you hit someone.
And then like
they don't want a 1 KO.
And then like the 7th hit, he actually does the big one and knocks him out. And I'm like, where the fuck was that for the first 6 rounds? It's like,
do you reckon the bloke didn't realise it was coming either?
just warming him up.
He was just like,
oh,
this is good, and then just absolutely fucking levered him. Like, you know what, I'll have him now. I'll take the 7 count.
The comedian got under a lot of heat because the comedian apparently went into Jake Paul locker room before the fight, kissing Jake Paul ass, going, oh, thank you so much for letting me host this, blah, blah, blah. And then went into Ben Askren's locker and just talking shit about Jake Paul. And in my eyes, I thought it was, apparently it was like disrespectful and stuff or whatever. And I was like, oh, he's a comedian though. Like, he's always going to bring controversy to a situation,
It's always a bit showy, I feel, isn't it? It's got to be showy, let's be honest. It's a YouTube event. That, like, I know people say, I feel like, was it Vertigo has spoken out about it before, and he said, like, it's a shamble to boxing. You know what? I don't think it is. I feel like it's good exposure for the sport. It's good for getting people involved into it. But there is a very fine line between turning it from a competitive sport to almost like a WWE fake fight. You know?
Yeah.
I don't watch wrestling because I think it's fake, and it's much as it's good. It's for the kids, mainly, and then like the ones who just kind of didn't outgrow it, the ones who still think Santa exists and shit. But you kind of go like,
he does.
I think it's good because I'm kind of like, you know what, I won't watch it, but there'll be people who look up to these people and they will watch it. They'll love to watch it, and I'll probably like to watch a knockout. But at the end of the day, people aren't going to be watching Jake Paul versus so-and-so when you've got people like Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua and Klitschko like fighting. Like, you want to watch those people. They're not going to make as much money. They'll make a lot of money, but they won't make as much money as these people because, let's be honest, YouTubers are way more exposure, give way more exposure than these other people do. And that's just how it is. They have a big audience and a big following.
Yeah.
Obviously, professional boxers have that. But they're not in the limelight as much. They basically say, yeah, we're going to fight. Then they go into training for 6 months and hardly make any appearances apart from the random interview.
Yeah.
They can't build that like fan base that Jake Paul and other people can do.
Yeah.
So I think it's great for the sport. It just needs to not be very comedic because it looks a bit shit, and a bit scripty.
The entire time Snoop Dogg was talking about how much money he was going to make on a fight, which I think is good. But he was calling out Dana White because Dana White put up, Snoop Dogg and Dana White were having a massive Twitter argument for the last couple of months on who would win the fight. And they had a $2 million bet on who would win, right? As soon as Jake Paul knocked out Ben Askren, or you call it knockout, whatever. All you hear over the commentator, Snoop Dogg over everyone. The commentators are trying to be technical about the fight. You have Snoop Dogg literally standing up with a fucking microphone screaming, Dana White, where's my money?
It's just so show business, isn't it? It's just show business.
The whole time it was like they're trying to talk about how much of a clean fight Ben Askren's, didn't duck this or whatever, straight left, and then the whole time talking over it, it's just fucking Snoop Dogg just giving it to fucking Dana White over the mic. I'm like, bro, just shut up for a minute. Like, you won $2 million, but like, fuck up for a minute. Like,
I think they just need to bring it back a bit. They need to. I think they're just doing because let's be honest, they are showmen. Like, Snoop Dogg's gone down that route. Jake Paul's always been down a route with Disney. It's just normal for them. They're in their own ballpark. They won't be the serious, they're not going to be selling out arenas to adults. They'll be appealing to the younger audience, and that's just how it is nowadays. It's just how it's going to be. But at the end of the day, it was good. It was good. They got their money's worth. And
the only thing that I feel bad is that when is it Bruce Bucker, the announcer?
Bruce Becker?
Becker?
Well-known one. He does like...
Yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah.
I don't know which one that
is.
So
he was the announcer. He was the I think it's called the announcer. Anyway, he was the announcer of the match, right? And he got Ben Askren's name wrong. Like, completely fucking wrong.
Did he? Fucking hell. That's really bad from him as well.
During the announcement.
A lot of money.
He said Ben... what? I can't... Off the top of my head, I cannot remember what it was.
Askren. Ben Askren. It's really scuffed.
No, Ben Askley or something like that. And Ben turns around and goes, "It's Askren." Like, it's not. It was like nowhere near his last name. Like, he completely.
That's
fucked
terrible.
It up. And I'm like, I feel bad for him, bro. Like, that was actually a really sad moment. That the fact that the announcer couldn't even get his fucking name right. Like, that's your terrible. One thing, man. Like, so that was a big.
You do. That's how you go.
Yeah, it's like that's how you hit retirement. Yeah, that's how you hit retirement too, pretty fast. But yeah, literally got his name wrong. I'm like this whole show. Like, I think the Drama Alert brought out a video about it and how much of a shambles the whole thing was. I mean, Keemstar is just Keemstar. But
you know what? I will also say that probably like COVID dependent as well. It probably does make things a lot more difficult to arrange and stuff. But I still don't think it would deter from the fact that he should have been against a better fighter and. It would have made it more enjoyable. First round knockouts aren't that great for anyone. No one likes a first round knockout. You like a 12 round, 13 round. Yeah. You want a long fight. No one likes to see a first round knockout unless you're betting. I love to see long fights. I think that's great. I think it's great to see fighters actually go head to toe,
go
properly
half the
rounds.
Go half rounds, six out of 10 or something, and then knock them out. It's way better because that's when you start seeing their guard coming down. That's when you start seeing the who can
Because Jake Paul hasn't been challenged, really. He's not broken a sweat. Nah. He's getting his rounds in, but he just needs to properly fight. He would batter KSI as well. Mm-hmm. I think KSI is a bit of a meme with boxing as well. I think he's good at boxing. He isn't to that standard, though. He isn't that athletic naturally that Jake Paul is, I feel. Because I've seen people saying, like, oh, KSI, it's time to step up. And it's kind of like, Jake's out of his league. He's out of his league. KSI is focusing on his music, and he's doing boxing as a lovable hobby, which I think is great and nothing against it. But he has to realize that Jake is a new league because Jake is going for it. I feel he wants to be semi-pro, amateur pro, something like that, because he's putting the work in. He's really putting the work in. And all fair play to him. I don't berate any of them. I think the Pauls do a great job of what they do, and whatever, but I think Jake is a serious contender for proper fighting, and I'd love to see him properly fight. I feel like he's better than Logan, he's better than KSI, because KSI and Logan are just showmen, whereas Jake is like, I give a fuck, whereas the other guy's kind of like, we do give a fuck, but they're in it for some money,
I mean, they're all in it for money, but I think in the scheme of it, I think in hindsight, we all knew it was coming. We all knew that, in my opinion, I thought that Jake Paul would win. It was inevitable, and I don't think Ben Askren fucking cared because he didn't care leading up to it.
He doesn't care. He's just getting paid out his
ass.
He
was getting paid out his ass. Like, I think there was there's a video of him walking out of the dressing room, like literally probably 30 minutes after the fight with his wife getting in the car, and they're smiling so fucking... There's nothing on his face. He's fine. He's walking out of there, just made more money in the fucking one night than he did the entire UFC career. So... Yeah, credit to him, in my opinion. Fuck.
Yeah.
Credit to him, to him and his family.
So here's some news. So basically, since our last time, we've now got restrictions reduced. I won't talk too much into COVID because it bores me out my arsehole.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
We have restrictions removed. So we can now go out and We can go and do general things again. We can shop. We can go and to pubs. We can go to restaurants outside. We can do a lot more, which is really good. Very, very nice. Very well.
Just how nice.
Well,
just
needed.
Just how
holy fuck.
How nice
so
was
needed.
it to leave the house and where can we? What corner can we find you drunk as a skunk? What corner in London?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, like, I've recovered. I feel like I'm at the end of my recovery now, but because we haven't had a very solid night out in probably the course of almost a year, we had our first big night out on Saturday, and you know what? I would like to say that I hands took twat of the day. I took twat of the day, twat of the year, because it was a big night. I'd say that. So basically, my friend, it was his birthday. He lives about an hour away, and we were like, oh yeah, like I'll come over. So big night out. This will be, you know, go to the pub that he works at and have a few drinks, get on it. As I'm driving there, the front splitter on my car pops off, and I had to fucking try and get that sorted on the side of the road. Got that sorted, turned up half an hour late, got on the bruise. Anyways, we're drinking this whole night, and just to like get things kind of sorted, we were there for about 5 p.m. to, I think I started to lose consciousness about 9:30. And we were probably about, I'd say about 9 beers in, mixers, shots. It was good, but we haven't drank in a while. So I think the last time I drank here, which we have beer pong here, was probably about, I don't know, 4 pints, 5 pints, a nice little number. So we've doubled up and some, because we've gone to rum, we've had beer and rum, we've had shots, we're smoking. It's a good time.
Smoking?
But...
Okay.
Well, I couldn't remember.
You're not a natural smoker. So everyone know you don't actually smoke normally. So
I don't smoke. I mean,
okay.
I get high here sometimes with my friend. Like we smoke weed sometimes, not often. But I do remember post drinking that I'd had part of my mate's cigarette, which I couldn't remember at all. I do remember smoking it and looking at my friend and just kind of being like, putting it in the air like a prick. But I was battered. Anyways, so my kind of night went like this. 9:30, I was fucked. Completely fucked. Somehow, I got to the taxi. All in the meantime, whilst there was ever a silence at the table with people like chatting, I'd look to my friend George and say, George, I'm fucked. And I would repeatedly tell him this, just to let him fully know that I'm going to be a liability in a minute. And a liability I fucking was. Because... let me tell you this, bro. We got into the taxi, and the taxi was a windy one. It was a 15-minute drive, and I'm in the back of this taxi, I think. And I'm sat there, got my hoodie on, got obviously my shirt on and my jeans and my shoes, and I'm just chilling in the back of this taxi. And I'm feeling it because my head's like, fucking this, bro. Like, all over the gas.
It's the worst. Once you see the room start
The
spinning,
worst.
Like, you know it's coming.
The worst. And they were like, you're going to be sick, you're going to be sick. And in my drunken state, I've gone, absolutely fucking not. You know, I'm not going to be sick.
Absolutely
and then
fucking...
With that, I genuinely was like, I'm going to be sick. So I remember pulling my shirt forwards and being like, I don't want to get sick in the taxi because it'll cost money. So I've done this, and I believe I've gone down the front of my shirt and I've gone, you know, this is wonderful. This is the greatest place all of my sick can go right now. But I didn't. Matey in the front copped it in the back of the head. So I've got it in the taxi on him because I've spewed. And then I've ducked my head down. So I thought, I'm onto a winner here, boys. I've done this. And then I hear the girl next to me. She's gone, he's been sick. So they pull over. Side door opens. I don't know what the transition was, but somehow I've gone through a wormhole of like being in the chair to being face down in the dirt, hand out, vomiting into the ground with my mate telling me it's going to be okay, just let it out. And I was there, and I was like in between fucking retching. I was like, mate, I've got this. I've done this a lot. I've got this completely dialed. And then I started taking off my clothes because I was like, I'm vomited all over all of this. So they didn't know what was happening because they were like, why is he getting naked? And to me, I'm like, this is a solid idea because I'm covered in sick right now, which it never was. It was all over the fucking chairs. And from there, I've taken my shirt off. I'm now topless in the back of my vomit fucking taxi, being taken home. And I've fallen asleep in the lounge. I have no idea how and what's happened, because I've woken up after this. Oh, by the way, whilst I was actually on the sofa trying to fall asleep, I was getting YouTube out, because whenever I go to sleep, I always listen to a YouTube video. So I think I was trying to listen to a YouTube video at the time, because my mate robbed me of my phone, being like, "You're not doing that. This is fucking idiot. Just go to sleep." Fell asleep downstairs, woke up upstairs in my boxers. We were on a landing, and I was genuinely like that sick. I know I could see the bathroom next to me, so I was like, I've got this dialed. So I go in there, and I literally look at the toilet, and I kind of go, well, here we go, and just chundered.
Yeah.
And let it all out, gone back there, and then kind of gone like, where the fuck am I, and where the fuck do I go? Because there was like 5 doors, and they're downstairs, and I don't know where the fuck I was in the first place. So to go downstairs kind of didn't make much sense, because I knew the safety of the toilet was here.
Were you at your house or someone else's house?
Someone else's house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I crashed there. I crashed at theirs. So I've kind of gone, you know what? I don't know where I am, but the safest place for me right now is next to this toilet and this sink. These are my fucking saving grace. If I'm in a survival situation, running water with a fucking horrible lavender smell, which made me want to vomit, so that was horrific trying to drink. And then the toilet, which was just a fucking blessing in disguise. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to sleep on the landing. So I found what was the only bit of like cover, and it was apparently a wet duvet. So I've got this wet duvet, pulled it over myself. So I'm sleeping in the cold in my fucking boxers on a wet duvet, smelling of sick, next to a bathroom. And someone comes out of a room, and I was genuinely kind of like, like fearing, like, who the fuck is that? And they step on me. I was like, I don't know what's going on to deserve this, but I just want to sleep on this landing in my wet duvet. Can you not step on me? And then from there, I just continued to vomit into the toilet. But one of the grossest things I've ever fucking encountered was this shit. So anyways, I'm asleep. I'm somewhat asleep on this landing. Mm-hmm. Someone comes out, goes to the bathroom.
What's a landing?
Door locks. A landing's like an upstairs section.
Okay.
Like in between all of the doors, like a corridor, like in between all the doors. So it's not a room as such. It's just a thing between.
That's a hallway.
Yeah, it's a hallway. So it's a landing is upstairs called a landing. So it's a hallway. So I'm in this hallway, and she's gone in there, and I'm kind of like okay, like where I am, because I'm like, yeah, she's gone in there. She's gone to the bathroom. But then like my stomach started turning, and I was like, where's Plan B? There's no Plan B. I'm not throwing up in this cover, and I've got nothing left to wear if I throw up in my boxers. So I'm there, and I'm literally sat upright, just being like, don't spew, don't fucking spew, trying everything not to spew. Anyways, I'm literally listening to this person in there go to the bathroom, because I'm trying to make sure I don't fucking spew. It's the most disgusting shit in the world. Anyways, they come out, go back into their room. They started talking to me, and I was like, yeah, no, don't talk to me. I go into the fucking toilet, go over the fucking bowl. I get a whiff of ass, because obviously they've just been to the fucking loo, which makes me fucking spew all in this thing. Stomach bile, whatever the fuck I had was coming out. I was like, that is the most minging thing I've ever fucking experienced, but it also cleaned me out. Completely cleaned me out.
When you get to that point, bro, where we've all been there. As much as it's funny to listen to it, we've all been there. I mean, if you're of an age of at least 30, you've been there at one point in your life, right?
I've never been there. I've never been blacked out drunk where I don't remember shit. I text people things I shouldn't have texted people things about, and I had to apologise. Because you can kind of tell what I was trying to say to them.
I blacked out for the first time. I mean, it's not a good thing to black out. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not. We're not bragging about it. It's not a brag. But yeah, I mean, I'm almost 28, and I blacked out for the first time this year. I think with COVID and not being able to see people and stuff, it always the same. Get there.
Yours was for like a week though. Mine was like 12 months.
Yeah, but I mean, like my
True.
That's what I mean. Like but once that's why you went above and beyond. But you get to that point where you vomit so much that you start dry reaching. Your stomach like starts coming out your mouth. Like it's such a feeling where you go, I have nothing left, but I'm going to continue being sick. And at that point, that's where you start to like rip your insides, because your stomach is just tensing up.
Trying to Yeah, it's trying to bring up shit. I was almost kind of like, you know what? I'm going to start drinking water so I can kind of give it an effort, at least. I was just seeing stomach bile. I was like, this is minging.
Once you, it's called power chuck. When you do a power chuck, right? Everyone knows what a power chuck it is or whatever, powering on or whatever.
What's a power chuck?
You don't know what a power chuck is?
Nah.
So it's almost like, you ever heard of a tactical...
You didn't know what a landing was.
You ever heard of a tactical vomit? Like a tactical vomit?
Yeah, tactical chunder.
Yeah, it's the same thing as a power chuck, right? So it's the same thing where pretty much you vomit and you feel better, like straight away, and you're good to go. Like, you're not going to keep vomiting. It's like a one vomit thing. You vomit once just to get up whatever the shit that's just making you feel ill, and you go back to doing whatever you're doing, right? Keep drinking on. That's called a power chuck, right? Because you're just going to keep powering on.
Yeah.
But once you get past that point of doing that, you know that your stomach is just going to... It gets to a point, bro, where it's just hurts.
Just hurts.
It hurts.
Yeah, it just hurts because you're trying to throw up, but then there's nothing left. You're kind of like, I've got nothing left. Like, stop.
And all you got is the smell of ass in your nose, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah, fucking. I'm like, have another whiff of her arsehole in the fucking toilet. Like, fucking up it comes. I kept vomiting for fucking ages.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought I was like, when the fuck am I going to stop being sick?
You get to a point where like, I'm dying. This is it.
Yeah, I'm genuinely dying. I was like, you know what? I'd rather just fucking die. I can't be arsed just sniffing the fucking arse again to try and vomit, and then I'm just there looking like a fucking cat, like.
At least you didn't have to. At least you didn't have to do the old like, I want to vomit but I can't, so I have to put my fingers down my throat to make myself vomit. Like that.
I've never had to do that.
You just go to the toilet after someone's been there, and it'll just help you out. It just becomes a natural thing.
Fuck yeah, you've had a horrible one in there, so I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah,
it was a grim one. It was a very nice place though. It was a very, very nice place, but yeah, fucking hell, I was in an absolute mortal fucking state by the end of that. It was disgusting. That was a fucking disappointment and a half. But it was good. I really enjoyed it. I'm not going to do that again for a while, but it was really good.
I'm glad that the UK's finally opening up. I think that'll be, it's a good thing for people to get out. Obviously, you've now tested the waters on your capabilities, and I think you're going to probably not go down that same route again.
Who knows? Who knows? At times, it's fresh. I saw people the other day punching on, and I was like, you know what? Go for it. You've earned it.
Yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a while. If you want to punch on, punch on. I don't give a fuck. You want to punch me? Punch me.
You see more action in a street fight than what's on TV these days. So yeah. Hey.
Get your money's worth. Do it. You've earned it. You uppercut me? Fuck it. Why not? Call me a knobhead. You deserve it.
Yeah.
We've had no bar fights for 12 months. Let's fucking get them all going again.
What else has happened since we've been away? The crypto world has been taken off. We know about that. Crypto world has just been going.
Crypto's been going. Crypto's been funky, man, isn't it? It's been so funky. Because obviously people who listen to us, I don't know if they know too much about what we do, but we are very much the coin connoisseurs of fucking losing everything. We do not know how to time a market, but we fucking give it a good bash.
You buy on the rise, I buy on the dips. Well,
I buy all-time highs.
You sell on the dips, and I buy on the highs. That's how it works. It's just weird.
That's it.
It's a weird environment that we live in. So don't ever take our financial advice, and we'll never probably give it.
So massive disclaimer, don't take this as financial advice, but we do like getting involved in these coins. And to be honest, I'm in profit. I'm in good profit.
Yeah.
I feel you're in profit as well, and I feel everyone's in profit. But I was thinking about it the other day. Would you say this is the right idea, for getting involved in things like Dogecoin and stuff? I feel that you got to treat things like Dogecoin and these kind of meme low-end coins, which are cheaper, as like a night out. So you don't want to if you get there early, it's good, It's good to get there early because then you can get on the rise. But, no one's really there, so you kind of don't want to be there. But when the party starts getting going, you get involved, that's when you turn up about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock where it starts going. But you don't want to be there at the end. You want to get it when it's peaking. And then just after the peaking and you can start to see it decline and getting moved on, you get out. You go to a new spot. I feel that's it, because if you're there at the end, you're only a schmuck. Because people are saying we'll go to everyone's saying go to $1. Those people are gone before that. They're well gone before that because they want to get their money's worth. They're never going to get to $1 and say, right, everyone's going to sell now. Hooray, we've done it. That never works.
I think Dogecoin will have the biggest sell drop, in my opinion, once it hits $1. Once it hits $1, it will fucking plummet so hard. I
don't know if it's going to do $1. It seems funky.
It went to like 60 cents or something Australian dollars. So I'd say
it's mad.
I'd say get close.
It does blow my mind.
It is a pretty nutty world. I mean, now's the time to be a millionaire if you can read the charts. Like that's dead set. The way it is, you get in early, then you can well and truly be a millionaire. Like it is a crazy world. It is a very crazy world. You know, so I mean, yeah, credit to those who have made money. I mean, I'm in a few groups that read into it. I've been an investor now for about 4 or 5 months. You know
what? I'm happy for people who have made it, because people are saying like, oh, you know, if you bought it at this stage, you'd have this much money. I'm like, bro, you know what? People are in financial difficulties and they're begging for an out. If people have gone into this and they've made a third of what they've put in, they've made 50 quid, they've made enough money for food and stuff. Fucking fair play. You know, if you want to make millions, you can make millions, you know. But if you're there and you're financially struggling and this has helped you out in a smidgen, fucking go for it, you know. I think absolutely. Like, if I go into it, it's more of a greed thing, an investment thing, because I know that I've got money and this is just purely me playing around trying to earn some more money. But there are people out there who are genuinely struggling, and I hope that they've made their money. They've made a good killing, you know. But I hope they don't get stuck in with all these people who are saying, stay to this, stay to that. Diamond hands. You're not a diamond hands if you fucking hold on to it. You're diamond hands if you flip it and read the market.
Yeah.
You know, you got to keep changing it, because the people at the top are going to chuck and they're going to make a ton of money, and you're going to lose a lot to yourself, and they're not going to lose a lot to themselves. You know, they're going to make hundreds of thousands. You're only there for a couple of $100 quid, you know?
Yeah.
But losing a couple of $100 quid can be devastating to someone. That could be rent, that can be food. You got to listen to your own instincts. Get in, get out. It's only going to do that with Doge. It's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go up again, it's going to go down. It's going to go up again, you know, and it's going to go down again. You just got to ride it. It's never going to plateau out, you know. My biggest advice is, if you go in and you lose a lot, don't be afraid. Don't just go for the sale. Hold in, because it'll come back up again at some point, and you can probably break even. You know, it might take a while. I saw that with Ripple. Ripple went at an all-time high about 3-4 years ago. It's never got there again, but it's a lot higher than it used to be, you know. Yeah. So it's well worth hanging in there if you've got the money. You only need to pull out if you need that money back, which if you need that money back, you probably shouldn't have gone in the first place, you know. But if you can hold that money there, just hold it there. It will do numbers. You know, I've got my Bitcoin. I don't want to sell it for 10 years. That's my idea, you know. But people just need to I just hope people are doing well out of it, you know. I don't want people to lose all their shit. I want you to lose all your shit if you're a knobhead. You know, if you're getting people to get involved just so you can make as much money as possible, and you end up losing it all because you're a knob.
I think you got to have a plan going into it. I think you got to have an idea of when, like for me, when I first got into it, I'm going to buy myself a new car, right? That's what I had a plan was. I have this money for a new car, and you've known about this, and I put the money for my new car into crypto. Only because people put their money into savings accounts that go up X amount of interest a year, going into super and stuff, going up at X amount a year. And you're looking at the market, any coin in the last 6 months has gone up. Like over the last 6 months has gone up. So I looked at that 6 months ago and was like, you know what? I'm buying a car in back then, 2 or 3 months time, right? I'll put my money into there, right? And I'll put my money into some of the biggest bigger coins, and that way I know it's safe. And everyone's like, you know, why don't you put your money on this? Why don't you put your money on that? I'm not putting thousands of dollars on a fucking meme coin. You know, I'm not. No, you got to play it smart. People are like, oh, but it went up 700%. It's like, yeah, but that's also
in hindsight, isn't it?
Yeah, like, I'm like, it could have crashed too, you know, but it didn't. You're looking at like, oh, I won the jackpot, but you also did not know you're going to win the jackpot unless you're in it. So that's the gamble that people make. But you look at actual coins or cryptocurrencies that will actually have something in the future. That is, in my opinion, that is what I went for. I went for the ones that, you know, your Ethereum, your Ripple, because that was good at the time. I have RSR and I have Chainlink. Chainlink is a software that's used with Ethereum and all that. So I use Link because I know in the future, software is going to be the biggest thing. You know, Chainlink is at the head of the ball game right now, and I thought that was... And it has been, you know, and now I've doubled... I was lucky enough to double almost 3 times my investment into my car now. And I will be taking that money out soon. And that was what my plan was to make enough money, or put money in there as a savings, and let it slowly go up.
And I also think at the moment that any of these coins that go up, they are destined to go down because no, you can't spend it. So there's nothing for them. They're just going up on media hype. People are buying into it going, oh, it's amazing. But then you kind of go, what can you use it for? And you go, absolutely nothing. Sell. You know, they have no value at the moment. So there's never going to be a plateau. So at the moment, it's just all about flipping it. It's all about having fun, getting involved. You know, it's a gamble, but at the same time, enjoy the process, enjoy the money making, enjoy the trading, because trading is, I feel like it's wrong to just let money sit there nowadays. You got to let money work, you know. That's why I put a lot of money into crypto and stuff, because I'm kind of like, it's going to rise and it's going to come back down. But as long as I don't pull out, I'm never going to lose. And if I don't take out, I'm never going to win. Yeah. At the same time, if it becomes a future currency, it's going to inflate. So just put money into it, let it do its thing. Don't look at it as in like, oh my God, I need to get out the next day, because I've done that and it fucks you over because you get out the next day because you're like, oh shit, it's going to go down, and then it fires up, you know?
I did that with Ripple when I bought Ripple at, when I first started, like 30 something cents. And now Ripple went to like $2, almost $3, you know, and that would have been 10 times my money. But you don't know that, you know. For me, it's always been like, you put in money that you're willing to lose, because then you won't ever have a fear of it going up and down. We've just recently hit a massive, I believe what they call is liquidation, where the large sum of money in the market has gone. Something like $5 or $6 billion has just left the market, which is why everyone has been seeing a sea of red, which is why a sea of red meaning that everything is down. You know, percentage-wise, it's in the red. The only thing that are staying up are the ones that are hyped right now, right? Dogecoin, SafeMoon, all massively hyped. So they're the ones only going up because people are taking their money out of all the stuff that's going red. Oh, I'm losing money here. I might as well put on to the hype stuff, which is one, a good trade, but you got to also think about is your taxes.
It's going to come back up.
It's got to come back up. If you're smart, you would, if you were in Dogecoin a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and it's gone up, I would now, while everything is down, transfer your money over into actually something that means something, because once the hype is done with Doge, we've seen it before. When Doge hit 10 cents Australian or 13 cents Australian, it crashed to half the price. It literally plummeted down to half the price. I do feel like it's got to do the same thing. And I think if you've made money off Doge, I would now invest while the market is in a sea of red, which is the best time to buy. They say buy on the dip, would be to buy the stuff that actually means something now. Ripple, Bitcoin, Ethereum, while it's all down, use the profits you've made from Dogecoin and put it towards something that while it's down. Because as soon as Dogecoin becomes a dead meme, it's going to go down, you know, and then everything's going to come back up. So
I feel that Dogecoin, my game plan with Dogecoin is it's going to go down. While it's getting media hype, I'm not going to touch it because it's out of the ballpark right now. It's not going to double up in price. There's no reason for me to chuck a load of money into it, because if it goes down, it can go down a fuck ton at the moment. So we need to let it go down. It's currently got a load of general public in it, you know, and a load of general public will sit in it. But that's what will happen, and it will just get hyped up, and then it will come really far down in the future, and that's when I'm going to buy a load of it and just leave it there for the next hype up again, because it's going to get hyped. You know, people love Dogecoin. People love being involved in it. It's become that much of a meme that it's now a trading meme, and people are taking it seriously. That you can kind of ride the hype, but I feel right now it's high and I would sell purely on the basis that it is very fucking high from what I've ever seen it at.
Yeah.
But also not financial advice to sell, but that would just be my kind of take, because it's at 36, it's just literally gone to 40 and it's now crashed down very hard, weirdly enough. Literally hour we're talking, to 34 cents. And, you know, it's slowly rising back up, but it's going to do that. It's going to fluctuate massively. But I think 37 cents is huge for it right now. Even if it goes to $1, I won't buy it. I want it to flatten out. I want it to get a nice plateau. You know, I want it to find its standing and then buy into it and then leave it there, because it will inflate up again, because loads of people are giving it hype. That's how Bitcoin did it back in the day. It got a huge media hype. Loads of people wanted a piece of it, but couldn't do anything with it. So all that happened was it reached an all-time high and everyone sold. And that was it. You know, I made my money's worth out of it, so did other people. But yeah, it's fun. I like it. It's enjoyable. It's not the worst thing in the world. If anything, it gives you a nice eye-opener as to how money works and how you can make it work for yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been good. It's been nice to actually do things like that and see a nice change in nothing, you know. It's been fun. I feel like it's just what people need to realize is what they need to do is put their money into things, do stocks, do trading and stuff. It's been something I've been doing the last couple of years, and I've been enjoying it. It's been really fun. It's been very, very good.
I think it's opened up people's eyes to the world of trading, which I think is probably a good thing because I think investing early on is a great thing. I think being an investor and putting your money towards a stock or towards cryptocurrency or whatever you wanted to invest into and researching that kind of stuff will help you in the long run. I think, they don't
Even
really...
investing now is good.
Yeah, I think...
Because everything's still down because things aren't opening up still.
COVID and stuff, a lot of stocks are down, I think...
loads of stocks are down. Like, we buy into it all the time, just keeping it there.
Yeah. So, I think a lot of people now, like years ago, trading wasn't as fucking hyped up as it is now. Like, it was never...
Nah, it's huge now.
And now it's huge. So you'll see a lot more... Once it becomes a lot more accessible, once people start to research it more, the whole market will go up because people are starting to realize it's not as scary as people think. It's not, investing your money into something. It can be and it cannot be. But there's a reason why big companies invest money into other companies because you can make money off it and you can also long-term... have financial stability out of it. And I think, it's good for the younger ages to learn it. Even if just playing around with it. I've seen people put $50 in, and just play around with it, a couple of dollars there, and just watch it go up and down and research it. One of my biggest mistakes was not researching it and putting thousands of dollars into something at the very start. My first 4 trades, I lost $500 probably in my first 4 trades. And in my first 2 weeks, I lost $500 worth Australian dollars. Since then, I've researched a lot before putting money back into it, and I've now well and truly made that back. But it's that kind of stuff that you learn from experience, and I don't think putting all your money in or whatever you want to invest straight away is a great idea. I think you're just putting it in.
Never put all your money in. Always do the demo versions. Don't be afraid that you're going to lose out at the moment if you don't get involved. Do the demo versions, know how it works, know what you're doing, because you can lose a lot of money, I've thankfully done well and made a lot of money out of this, and I feel that everyone should try and learn it, because if you've got money sitting there, money will just sit there and it won't do anything. But if you've got little bits and you can make it work for you, make it work for you, Don't be afraid because you can always make money. You can always make money, But always understand that you could lose a lot as well, Just do your research.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier than it looks. And just understand that things will go up because right now businesses are closed all over the place. But what's always going to happen? Aviation's always going to come back. It's going to be slow, but aviation will come back. Shops will come back, But it's just going to take some time. It's going to take a while. But I feel if you buy in now, in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years' time, you'll make 4 times the amount you've had. Unless the place fails, then that's just unfortunate. I had a place that went bankrupt and I lost half my money. I didn't take out, I held. They have now come back up and I'm in profit again. I don't know how the fuck that worked, but here we are.
Yeah.
We're in the green. I looked at it and went, I don't know what the fuck you guys have done, but apparently you went bankrupt and now I'm in profit.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Just selling meth. That's what they're doing. Just money laundering and selling meth.
Yeah, we're coming up to an hour and 20 minutes, guys. So we'll probably wrap up the podcast. But it's good to be back. We've said this many times.
We're going to try and keep it going now because we're in a good position here. Mentally, I'm in a better position.
Yeah.
Everything's getting easier. We're going to have our bouts. We're going to have our shit. We're gonna try and find things to talk about because obviously we've got our stuff going on.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, at some point, I'm gonna be back in that fucking room as well with that fucking dude, and we're gonna have a great time.
Yeah.
But let's see how it goes.
I got a couple of days off, so who knows, guys? We'll be coming out some content. We'll try and do some content together. So if you guys are watching this video, maybe expect some content out from us. Who knows? We might actually try and do something for once and actually pump out content. Because Brett did say...
And maybe we'll get this in next week as well. Maybe we'll do a podcast next week as well.
Yeah.
Which would be good because we're doing this on a Monday evening. We're just on a Tuesday morning. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Oh, my days. It's usually a Sunday, Saturday thing, but we're busy boys. We're busy boys.
All right, guys. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you guys follow our socials, at Oblivion, at TheBigGeee on Twitter and YouTube and stuff. And also, obviously, the DownUnder socials as well, at DownUnder Podcast on Twitter, Spotify, and YouTube. So
Spotify, YouTube, and just have a fucking good week. Go
Alright,
and get some good shit. Make some money.
see the green.
Bang some bitches.
Get
See
drunk
the
and
green.
vomit in the curb. Take care, guys, and
Don't
peace.
do that. Later, guys. Bye.